Well, the Red Sonja movie came out on digital. No, I didn't watch it because it's not free streaming anywhere, and I'm not going to pay for this. I don't even know that I'm going to watch it when it's on free streaming. I might for the lulls of it, but at this point, they had a limited theatrical release because they knew this was going to be a huge flop to get go. It only garnered $264,000 for this total disaster of a B movie. And Gail Simone's taking credit for it, which is the funniest part about all this. So Gail Simone, the writer of Uncanny X-Men, who actually did a long run on Red Sonja back in the day, and is saying this is all based on her run. And if you look at the scores, it's got a lot of scores about poor writing and just a terrible plot and not working very well. The character doesn't work very well. The actress doesn't work very well. But Gail Simone's, she's in it. So let's get into her comments on this and look at the Red Sonja release. And gosh, this is so sad. So Conan the Barbarian in the 1970s was one of Marvel's seminal comics. It did some wonderful stuff. And I did a bit of an homage to it and twisted into my own sort of deal with a book called Deus Vult. If you guys have not read it, you can get it on my NDM Express page, which is right here. This is my web store in the description below. I'll throw the direct link to Deus Vult because I think if you're a real Conan fan, you're really going to love this. Mine is I kind of mashed up the idea of a Conan in a fantasy world with a real world crusader. I like the idea of lots of the pulps, and I put a lot of different pulp influences into it. So my crusader here, Domingo, ends up going into a cave and ends up in a fantasy world. It's a kind of a John Carter setup to the start, if you guys are familiar with that. I know all the old pulps, and I study them because I love them. And our art style is beautiful. It's just like the old pulps. It's just like the old Conan stuff. You're going to love this. It is just badass crusading action in a fantasy world. And let me grab this today. It's definitely worth it. And thanks for reading all of our books. Hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things here. But like I said, 70s Conan was really the pinnacle of Marvel Comics. Really did wonderful stuff right there. And it was so popular. There was a character, Red Sonja, who was in one of the issues that was so popular they spawned their own series of it, which they did with Frank Thorne. And it was actually really hard to get collected editions of that book. It was called The Adventures of Red Sonja as a publication for trade paperbacks for a while. They were getting really expensive because they just didn't reprint them very much. Really good work, beautiful stuff. Just makes Frank Thorne obviously drew beautiful women characters, and it resonated. It continued on, and of course in the early 2000s and 2010s. You have this beautiful chainmail bikini character, and the feminists don't like that. So they have to kind of change things about it. And they try to change designs all the time. They try to change everything to make it less, more of a real strong female lead who don't need no man. And it's cringy, everything that's come in the modern era, as always. Now, there was a 1985 movie of the character, which is pretty well loved as well. And they decided to redo this for the modern audiences in 2025. It did not work very well, as you could see, based on the character from this in the second feature film. This one here, Matilda Lutz, leads the cast. 2 weeks after its theatrical release, it's going to be on digital. Now, it's a B movie, and here it is. Many praises. Lutz's fierce lead performance. Yeah, she's a strong female lead, angry. Definitely does not doesn't have the gravitas there of Red Sonja. I got to tell you that right there. Misses the mark on this, right? And misses all the cheesecake fun that it's supposed to be. Otherwise, you can't. What's the point, right? And so others criticize its weak writing, low-budget execution, forgettable humor, and uneven storytelling. So look at this. Look at even the way they frame this. They're saying everybody's divided, but nobody's divided on this. Everybody's universally panning it. And if you look at it, yes, she's a great, strong female lead, but it was horribly written, and low-budget execution is really bad, right? It's like the praises of it are just praising the actress for just you're supposed to clap for her because she's a woman is really what they're trying to say on this. So very, very funny. They say it was faithful to the character, etc. And it's a poor remake compared to the 1985 version. Now, Screen Rant, who, as they're saying, this was pretty, mixed. They gave it a 2 out of 10. Now, if you don't know, Screen Rant doesn't really give movies that low of ratings very often. That's pretty huge. And so that's not divided. That is, everybody thought this movie absolutely sucked. And if you get into the tomato meter on this, and you get into the critics, and you, of course, go to the reviews on this, yeah, it's kind of dumb, but fun. She has charisma, dexterity, okay, budget constraints, rudimentary effects. Even when the picture stalls, which is often, my interest will remain constant. Okay, I was eager. This is a 2.5 score. Eager to discover where things were going next. Okay, well, that's good try on that one. Despite not having the necessary budget or resources that would have allowed this to work, he succeeds in mastering a passionate, character-driven narrative. That's a 3 out of 5. So not very good there. Let's get into well-intentioned, ultimately uneven reboot is overall better quality than its predecessor, while simultaneously losing some of the absurd verve of the original that makes the comic book adaptations fun to watch. So they tried to play it too serious, right? They tried to make it, again, a feminist deal instead of this. Now, here's where, while it's failing, while nobody watched it, nobody liked it, here's Gail Simone taking credit for it all. It comes out today. Fans of the comic will recognize a bunch of my influence from my run. So this is based on her comic book run. And I have a consulting producer credit. Again, notice not a lot of commentary about the movie here. And notice the narrative that said, great performance by Matilda Lutz. That's what Screen Rant said. Great performance, but the writing was terrible. It was a terribly done movie. Great performance. So everybody likes this actress, on at least the feminists do, but there's not much actually that actually feels like Red Sonja, that actually feels like the comic books, that actually gives it any of the charm that anybody would want to watch this. So this is another movie made for a modern audience that is not interested in Red Sonja, because who's going to pay attention to a sword and sorcery movie? Who is your target demographic? It is white men. I know they don't like that. You're not allowed to say that. Not allowed to say that in Hollywood. And they did something that was, of course, not for white men and not for you. And so nobody watched it. Nobody liked it. And, you're not going to get most actual women watching a movie like this and enjoying it. It's absolutely absurd to try to go in that direction. But this is what it is. So regardless of which, takes credit for it, because that's what they do. They just love to have the credit. And they, it's just a feather in my cap. I've had movies based on my comic book runs. And that's all it is. The entire comic book industry is one based on clout. They don't care about quality. They don't care about maintaining the honor of the characters or anything like that. It's just the clout involved. It's just so they can put something in their bio. I always criticize a lot of the the science fiction and fantasy writers of America, because they all have 15,000 awards in their bio, but none of them have even sold 1,000 books between them. It's ridiculous. And that's just kind of where we're at with that. And that is the absolute state today. So get something, an alternative, guys. This is Deus Vult. You're going to love this. Just grab it. It's in the NDM Express store. I'll put in a separate link for just this book so you can click to it easily in the description below. Sign up for my newsletter also so you don't miss my comic book releases. If you like my thoughts on comic book storytelling and the like, we are doing it here. We're making everything that they want. And I've actually got Deus Vult 2 about 2/3 done with the line art right now. So we're going to have a second iteration of this probably next year sometime. And so you'll want to catch up. So thank you for being here. Thank you for reading comic books, and we'll be back soon.